Radio Raheem here with Robert Garcia. Robert, you've got Yevgeny on the undercard of Manny Pacquiao, Timothy Bradley. This is a tough fight for him, though. I mean, Oscar Valdez is no slouch, and coming off the loss, fighting an undefeated fighter. What made you guys choose that? This is the kind of challenge we want right away.
It's not an easy fight. You said it, and everybody knows it. Valdez is a great young prospect who I followed his career, and I actually think he's one of the best prospects in boxing right now. But his Gradovich management team talked about it. We talked about it, and if we want to get back to the top, this is the type of fights that we need. Of course, Valdez thinks the same way. If he wants to make it, he's got to beat somebody like Gradovich. So it's just we just know it's going to be a great fight, full of action. It might be the best fight of the night, and we're going to be ready for the best out there.
Everybody knows that Gradovich comes to fight. He's a banger. He likes to get in there and mix it up. Obviously, a fighter that you've had in your stable for so many years that is so associated with you decided to hang up the gloves. And, after that fight, everybody seemed to be a consensus. Like, that's probably a good idea. You didn't seem to disagree. How did it come to him wanting to make a return and then wanting to make that return without you in his corner?
Look, when he made that decision inside the ring, and then days after, I was supporting that. I was actually happy that he made that decision, and I said it in a few interviews that yes, that's what I wanted him to do, and that I wouldn't want him to come back. But when he came back to fight again, it got me a little off surprise, especially when he came to talk to me, saying that he was no longer going to train with me. At first, it was a little surprising, but I think that was a good decision, because Brandon and I had that relationship. Went a little bit too far, where we were just too friendly with each other. We did a lot of things together that maybe we shouldn't have done. Boxer-fighter relationship, with all my fighters, they see me as a trainer and they respect me as a trainer. Brandon was just my friend. We did things, like I said, things that maybe we shouldn't have done together. So he just got too comfortable with me. He got too comfortable with the team, and things were not too good in the last camp, So I think for him to change and have a new voice might help him.
Now that you're just his friend and not his trainer and have to kind of toe the company line, are you concerned personally? Because it seemed like a good idea for him to retire. Now coming back at this stage, are you worried about his health and well-being, basically?
Well, I'll be worried when I see who Aram or Cameron Duncan want to match him up against. But I think the plan is to give him a few comfortable fights, and if that happens, I'll be happy. I'll probably show up and support him because he's still one of my best friends. But yeah, if I don't want to see them trying to put him in against a young killer out there. I think they're Cameron do his job and pick decent opponents where Brandon comes out, gets a few good wins. So that I'll be happy with.
Last time I talked to you, you were so excited about Cotto Canelo. You couldn't wait to go see that fight. Now that fight's over, we've got Canelo, and it's being taken apart by the press and the fans. Are you guys all excited about that fight, and what do you see happening there?
Look, a lot of people are not happy with that fight, but I actually think it's going to be a pretty close fight. I think Khan is a little bit taller than Canelo. Khan is very fast and moves very well, so that could give Canelo problems. I'm not saying Khan beats Canelo, but I'm not as excited as I was for Cotto Canelo, but it is an interesting fight, and it's a fight that I want to see.
We've seen images online of Khan seeming to try to train his neck and train for a chin. I guess the best way you could say it. Is that possible? Is there a way you can make it harder to get knocked out?
I don't think so. You either have a punch, you don't. You have a chin, you don't. You have a heart, or you don't. You know what I mean? That's something that we don't train. You could train a fighter how to maybe use his jab, move around, use his footwork, but you can't teach a fighter to, you can't give a fighter a good chin. You can't give a fighter power either. So, I don't. Maybe those are just things he's joking around because he knows, and he knows he has to fight very smart and probably move around very fast and use his speed to try to win a fight. But it's still going to be interesting to watch.
And lastly, you're bringing a guy in, Abner Mares, who's had some issues in his last fight. He's not happy with his rate of success recently. So what is it that you can give him that he doesn't have, or how can you improve on what Abner can do in the ring right now?
So far Abner's very happy with my work, and he's been showing it in sparring. I got him sparring some young fighters that are in there to try to kick his ass. Young prospects that are giving him everything he could handle. And Abner's actually doing really good. I'm bringing back what Abner has. Abner is very talented, but it looks like he's been going the easy way, you know, for him, you know, to just go out and swing punches. But I'm bringing back his rhythm, his combinations, footwork, and I think people are going to see it in his next fight.
What about Mikey Garcia? Are we finally going to be excited to see this guy step through the ropes?
Hopefully soon, man. And when it does, I think people will see. You know, it'll take a few fights, but I think eventually Mikey will be back on top. You know, it'll take a couple of fights, but when he does come back, you know, he's only 28, so.
You're the only one who knows. Like, you're the only one who gets to see him now.
He's in the gym every day. He's in the gym every day, sparring and looking really good. So when he comes back, like I said, it's not going to be in one fight, but 2 or 3 fights, people will see the Mikey that, you know, they were seeing 2 years ago, and eventually Mikey will be back on top.
Thank you, Robert. Radio Raheem with Robert Garcia.